What is going on, my fellow movie nerds and geeks alike? Welcome back to our channel. Today I just wanted to do a kind of short video for you guys. You know, Vicky and I have been really into the Giallo genre lately, and with the news coming out that MAXXXINE, Ty West's third film in his X trilogy, is going to be very influenced by the Giallo genre. Now that the trailer has come out, we can actually look at these influences and just see where this is gonna go, see if he really was sticking to his plan of making a very Argento-esque Giallo sort of storyline with this one. Now, I didn't want to do a trailer reaction video because I'm sure there's already like 25 or 100 of those videos out there. I just wanted to talk about the Giallo elements I saw in the trailer, so let's take a look at it. Now, I've been a pretty big fan of Ty West's work so far. He's got a pretty impressive filmography, whether it be with House of the Devil, The Innkeepers, his work on the first VHS film, The Sacrament. He's done some pretty good stuff. After X came out, I really enjoyed the film, and I heard the news that they were going to release Pearl, and then with the release of Pearl came the news of MAXXXINE was going to be coming out, and I was the first to knock it. I was like, alright, we finally get a cool original horror movie, and they're already gonna milk it dry. I'll be the first to admit that I was a little wrong on that take. These movies have all been so tonally different, with X being almost a love letter to the Tobe Hooper films of the 70s and early 80s, with like its ties to Eaten Alive and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then you had Pearl, where it was almost like a noir meets Technicolor, twisted nightmare of a Wizard of Oz kind of story. They were both tonally different enough that you can enjoy them as their own thing, right? You know, you have the story of Pearl in X being the older woman, and you get that sort of what it's like to age and not wanting to age, and then you get the slasher elements, of course, with that, and the Eaten Alive alligator elements, which were really cool. And then in Pearl, you have almost like a noir Wizard of Oz kind of feeling going on with that Technicolor color, almost like a character study, if you will. In a sense of you're finding out how Pearl, this old woman, came to be. What drove her mad? What drove her to this craziness? Now, granted, I was more of a fan of X because I've always been more of a fan of the slasher genre, but Pearl was really cool. A cool character study of a woman going mad just trying to make it out of her hometown or humdrum town. And now, with this MAXXXINE trailer dropping, it looks like it's going to be another almost tonally different film from X and Pearl. Ty West has gone on to say that this is very influenced by the Argento film, so you're going to get a lot of cool color palettes, I'm sure. And he also said it's influenced by the Giallo genre, which, as we'll get into here in the trailer, we do get to see some of those elements he was talking about. In the trailer, we do see MAXXXINE now in the 80s, and she is on her way to becoming almost a Hollywood actress. And we get those nods to her being in the porno industry at first, and she's trying to break into mainstream Hollywood. And what's cool about this is they're interjecting a little element of realism here. You get the news reports of the Night Stalker, aka Richard Ramirez, out killing people in Los Angeles at the time. So you'll get that element of realism. And we also get the shot of the prototypical Giallo killer, wearing the black gloves, carrying a knife, dressed in all black with the hat, which was very cool, and it seems like Ty West is going to keep his promise there. In my opinion, granted this is just speculation, I do believe that the Richard Ramirez element is only there to add a sort of realism to the time in Hollywood, and he will end up being the first red herring, which, if you're familiar with Giallo films, there are a ton of red herrings. But it's cool that we're gonna have the look of a Giallo killer, with the black gloves and all. We also get a look at Kevin Bacon playing who is, I'm assuming, a police detective or a private eye of sorts. Now, will he be the almost bumbling idiot, ineffective police inspector of the Giallo film genre we've come to know and love? I guess only time will tell there. I also think it was pretty cool in the trailer where you have the set of Norman Bates' house in Psycho, and instead of Norman Bates' mother being in the window, you have Pearl sitting there, which was really cool. A nice little nod to Psycho and Pearl, of course. Now, how all of this will tie into the VHS boom that they seem to be pushing heavily in the trailer, I have no idea, but it seems like, you know, what they're going to do is like plant a lot of red herrings, and someone from her past is going to be popping up, sending her these tapes of what happened in Texas.
5 celebrities who got their start in horror movies.
Jamie Lee Curtis, John Travolta, Demi Moore, Brooke Shields, and
MAXXXINE fucking Minx.
Color me excited for the film. I'm so happy that they are going forward and it wasn't just blowing smoke up our ass, that this is going to be Giallo inspired. Now, how they will use that, only time will tell, but it does look like we're going to get a cool color palette. We're going to get the Giallo killer. We're going to get, you know, elements of 80s VHS boom. We're going to get a lot of blood and slaughter. And I think it'll be cool to see how a character like Mia Goth's MAXXXINE, being like almost like a sort of badass, take no fucking bullshit kind of characters, will do facing off against a killer like that, because she herself has been through a lot and, you know, is a badass. So her facing off as Giallo killer adds a new element to the genre, so we'll see. But the cast looks great. You got Kevin Bacon, you got Halsey, you've got Giancarlo Esposito. I mean, it's a star-studded affair, so it could be awesome, it could be terrible, who knows, this is just speculation. And I only wanted to talk about the Giallo elements we got to see, and I am very, very excited to see what they do with this movie. I mean, I was the first to knock them for milking it into a franchise, but they have done such a great job of making each film so tonally different while also following along the same storyline. Now, it can't be understated how well Mia Goth has done in her portrayal of MAXXXINE in X, and then Pearl also in X, but in Pearl. She has been doing a killer job, and it seems like she's only going to further herself as like a cool horror actress to follow in MAXXXINE. If you want to check out the trailer, I'll leave a link below. If you want to check out any of our other Giallo videos, I'll leave a link for those below as well. I'm really excited for this film. I think Ty West is a great director, and he's done nothing but good work here with this trilogy, especially in keeping it so tonally different with each film. It keeps us interested, it keeps us engaged. So, what do you think about the X movies? Did you like X? Did you like Pearl? Are you excited for MAXXXINE? Do let me know in the comments below. And do you think they're gonna lean heavily into the Giallo genre like they promised? It seems like they're gonna, and I'm excited, especially to see what they do with the Richard Ramirez Night Stalker element that they're adding in there. That should be cool and interesting. Also be awesome to see like a killer stalking a movie set. We don't get too many of those movies, and I always love seeing that like look behind the curtain of films, and it should be really cool. Until the next video, guys, thank you so much for watching. Granted, this is just a speculation video, and I love you guys. Thank you for watching again. Adios. Blah, 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 Bill. You're a fucking dork.